What up, guys, and welcome to your Training Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about how we can spice up our stationary shooting. You ready? Let's go. Stationary shooting has to be a part of your weekly regimen if you want to be a next level player. Nowadays, everybody can shoot the ball, and it's great to have training sessions where you're working on every aspect of your game, from ball handling to shooting off the dribble to finishing in the paint. But despite all that, you need some days where you're simply seeing that ball go in the rim and getting your repetitions. Now, this doesn't have to be taxing. We can do this simply standing in one spot most often. And we can spice it up and add some difficulty to keep us mentally engaged. So I want to show you a couple different ways that we use when we're in the lab in order to keep our stationary shooting spicy. Like and subscribe. Okay, tip number one, if you want to spice up your shooting, it starts with getting a shot blocker. You have to have a deterrent or a distraction that's going to simulate the game. Good players rarely shoot wide open. Good players rarely shoot with even anything more than just a small amount of space. Being able to shoot in the face of a defender or over a defender or while a defender's closing out at you is a skill that most shooters are lacking. Now, it's always better if you can get a live defender running at you, hitting you, being a distraction, throwing off your timing, whatever the case may be. But the next best thing is this shot blocker. It's got a 7'3" wingspan, and whether you shoot from right in front or from a little bit of a distance, it's still going to be able to block your view from the rim, which is going to make your shot all the more harder. You guys can actually pick this up in my Amazon storefront, and they're portable. You can break them down. It comes with a carrying case, and they're absolutely essential. I even like using them for dribbling drills because you get used to going by the hip of the defender because it simulates the width of a person. So that's tip number one. Tip number two to really spice up your shooting drills is to start with how you're counting. Your count doesn't always have to be 1, 2, 3 on every single make. So one of the things we use is called Beat the Pro. And every time we shoot, we're going to get a plus or a minus, and we're going to progress to a certain number while we're going up for each make and going backwards for each miss. So right there, I got a -1. That would be -2. Now I'm at -1. Now I'm at 0. So I would shoot my way all the way to 5 or 10, whatever I was going to from this particular spot. Granted, you can switch up the type of shot, whether I'm coming off the catch or making a dribble move or getting downhill, and still use the Beat the Pro counting system. Another thing we like to do is to only count swishes. So let's say we're going to 5, and we're only going to count the balls that don't hit the rim. So that would be 0. Still got 0. That would be 1. That would be 2. This is going to increase our standard of shooting because rather than looking for the front rim, we're actually going to be locating that ball in the dead center of the net. This is going to increase our arch as well as our rotation. So shooting for swishes is a great tool you can use to spice up your shoot. Another counting method we like to use is shots in a row. A player may not get the point until they hit 2 shots in a row. So if I'm shooting 0, got half a point. There's one. So I've got to constantly make 2 shots in a row or 3 or 4. We like to combine a lot of our drills. Sometimes it's making 2 or 4 in a row in order to get the point, and we may be going to 5. Simple stuff, but it'll definitely keep your shooters engaged and keep your shooting sessions spicy. Another thing we like to do when we're doing stationary shooting is to manipulate the footwork. And so one thing we like to do is shoot off the jab, where we catch, jab with the outside foot, and then get into our shot. Now we pair that jab with a jab cross. So we jab, cross, come back into our shot. This gives us core strength as well as gives us great balance on our shot, because as we're jab, we have to reset our feet, and as we jab cross, we actually have to come to a weird pullback that is going to increase the strength in your glutes and your core. Another stationary shot method we use is the up fake. And so we'll up fake, then come back into our shot. And what we want to see on this up fake is the ball actually traveling from below our hips to above our head in order to get the defender to bite. What you don't want to see is this right here, okay? So you want to up fake, reset your shot, and then knock it down. We pair that with the counter to that up fake, which is an up fake and jab step. So you'll see the low to high ball fake, jab step to get the defender back, and then the knockdown shot. Again, all the same core principles apply, but here we're actually learning how to reset that ball and keep it on track every single time. The last thing we like to do is put it all together with an up fake, jab, and one dribble. And so what you'll see is a low to high up fake, jab, one dribble to stun the defender, and then knock down our shot. And we love to pair this with the counter of the step back. So the same progression, up fake, jab step, one dribble, step back, and then knock that shot down. And the dribble just adds another level of difficulty, because if you have a great defender and you can't shake them with the up fake and the jab step doesn't get them, often the delayed dribble can stun them to give us the room, or the step back can ultimately create the spacing we need. I hope this helps you spice up your stationary shooting. Again, we're gonna be here every single Tuesday with tips that are gonna help keep your training from lacking and your sessions from slacking. Take a look at our follow along better ball handling series to get your handle tight, and remember to like and subscribe.